Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today because, well, we are tackling what just might be the absolute most frustrating, heart-wrenching, and universally shared conflict every single indie creator faces. You know the drill. You have an incredible idea, you've put in the blood, sweat, and tears, but how do you actually get your web series greenlit by the major OTT platforms? We're talking about the heavy hitters here. Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus Hotstar, Z5, Sony Live, aha! It's pretty much the ultimate dream for anyone holding a camera or a script, right? But the harsh reality? The vast majority of submissions never even make it past the front door. So today, we are going to decode exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how you can systematically flip the script. Now, I really want you to think about this for a second. Thousands upon thousands of incredibly passionate creators submit their projects every single year. They pour their heart, their soul, and let's be honest, often their life savings into these stories. And what happens? They get a generic thanks but no thanks email. The rejection pile is literally massive. So you have to ask yourself, why do great, genuinely interesting web series get rejected? It's a tough pill to swallow, for sure, but what we're going to learn today is that having a brilliant, creative concept simply isn't enough on its own. You could honestly have the next binge-worthy masterpiece locked in your head, but if you don't understand the complex ecosystem you're pitching to, your project is basically dead on arrival. So the crucial point is this fundamental mindset shift, perfectly captured right here. It's not always about content, it's about presentation, strategy, and readiness. This changes everything, doesn't it? Creating the art is really only half the battle. Surviving the pitch room, that requires a robust professional business framework. Think about it. If you walk into a meeting with just a good story and zero strategy, you are essentially asking a global platform to take a massive, blind financial risk. And in the high-stakes world of major streaming networks, hope is absolutely not a strategy. Okay, let's dive into this. Moving from that dreaded rejection pile all the way to the director's chair and a successful deal, it isn't about buying a magical lottery ticket. It's a highly systematic process. It's all about understanding the landscape, eliminating those glaring red flags, and checking the exact operational and creative boxes that OTT buyers are actively hunting for. Make no mistake, every single successful series you currently stream went through this exact same gauntlet. To actually navigate this journey and avoid getting passed over, we really have to deeply understand the 8 distinct red flags highlighted in our source material. And to make this super easy to digest, we're going to divide them strategically into 2 main battlegrounds. On one side, we have the creative traps. This is your story, your script, your production value. On the flip side, we have the business traps. This encompasses your pitch, your budget, and your legal readiness. The catch? If you fail in either of these arenas, the whole deal falls apart completely. So let's break them down. Starting with the first bucket, creative traps, or the art of the story. Now, this is usually where creators feel the most confident. But ironically, it's also where so many drop the ball right out of the gate and lose the buyer's interest incredibly early. Just imagine this. A network executive picks up your pitch. If your core plot is derivative, or maybe just riding the coattails of last year's big hit, instant pass. I mean, these buyers read hundreds of log lines a week. Unoriginality sticks out like a sore thumb. But okay, let's say the premise is actually pretty neat. They open the script. If they find flat dialogues, predictable scenes, and characters that completely lack emotional depth by, say, page 10, they're clocking out right there. And even if the writing is decent, what if you can't tell them exactly who is actually going to watch this? If your answer to the target audience question is, oh, it's for everyone, they immediately see a massive marketing disconnect. And finally, if you manage to hand them a pilot or a sizzle reel, but it's plagued with bad sound mixing and amateurish visuals, all your hard-earned credibility just evaporates. They need absolute trust that you can deliver premium television. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is how it shifts us into the second crucial bucket, business traps, the strategy of selling. Here is the harsh truth, guys. Even if you have a perfectly shot, emotionally deep series with brilliant dialogue, it will completely die on the vine if the business side of your pitch isn't handled with absolute professionalism. These final 4 red flags, they are absolute deal breakers. It all starts with a messy, unprofessional pitch deck that actually hides your vision rather than selling it. Then comes the money. If your budget expectations are a total mismatch for the project's scope or what the current market can even support, they simply won't take you seriously. Couple that with a total lack of a marketing strategy where you walk in basically expecting the platform to do all the heavy lifting for audience acquisition, and you're almost out the door. But the absolute fastest way to get your project killed on the spot rights and legal issues. Unresolved music rights, messy copyrights, vague chain of title documentation, these are massive flashing red lights for any network. They simply won't take on your legal liability. No way. So let's step inside the buyer's mind for a moment. When an executive at, say, Sony LIV or Amazon Prime is sitting across from you, what are they actually looking for? Well, our source lays out their exact ultimate checklist. They need a strong story that hooks viewers instantly. They are looking for clear audience potential and proven market demand to actually justify the spend. They demand top-tier production quality that can sit nicely next to their flagship shows. They're aggressively calculating the revenue potential. They need to see clear differentiation, basically answering the question of why this is different from the 50 other shows they already have lined up. And above all else, they are looking for trust and professionalism. Because at the end of the day, they are investing in you just as much as they are investing in the show. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's look at the success blueprint and how to actually improve your chances. We've spent a lot of time on why things go wrong. Now, here is exactly how you turn those rejections into real opportunities. We've compressed the source material's advice into this really powerful 4-step blueprint. Step 1 starts by crafting an undeniably unique, binge-worthy story populated with crisp scripts and strong, unforgettable characters. From there, Step 2, you must clearly define your exact audience and genre so the platform knows precisely who is going to hit play. Next up, Step 3, you have to align your high production quality with highly realistic budget expectations to guarantee a solid return on investment. And finally, Step 4, you wrap all of this incredible creative work in a rock-solid pitch deck, complete with a comprehensive marketing strategy and absolutely zero legal loose ends. Always remember the golden rule here. The right story plus the right strategy equals the right deal. And this brilliantly illustrates our ultimate goal. You need to carry this philosophy with you into every room. OTT platforms receive thousands of submissions. Make yours the one they can't ignore. It perfectly encapsulates the dual nature of pitching. You see, you aren't just competing against the platform's insanely high standards. You're competing against the noise of 1,000 other creators. To be truly undeniable, your art and your business acumen must be perfectly aligned. The source material we've been unpacking today was brought together by Shortfundly, an organization dedicated to empowering indie creators. Their stated mission is to guide creators through this exact ecosystem, helping them refine their pitches, clear these very specific hurdles, get discovered by OTT platforms, and ultimately turn those painful rejections into real opportunities. They operate on a pretty simple mantra: create, pitch, succeed. So after walking through this entire roadmap today together, I want to leave you with one final, very real thought to ponder. When you look objectively at your own project right now, is your web series genuinely pitch perfect across both the creative and the business standards we talked about today? Or are you just hoping for the best?